So I finally decided to get a dumb phone. This is something that I've been thinking about doing for a while, and I'm glad I pulled the trigger and went with the light phone. It had a lot of good reviews, and many of the features that I was looking for in a dumb phone were there in the light phone. I wanted to be able to text without having to use the old school number pad to text on. What is that called? T9? I would like to mention that Lightphone did not sponsor this video at all. They did not pay me to make this video, and they did not give me anything for free. First, I want to talk about some of the reasoning why I wanted to get a dumb phone. It's because I wanted to get some of my time back and my attention back. I found myself doom scrolling constantly, straight up addicted to social media. I tried everything from removing the apps from my phone or using some of those apps that block your apps for productivity, tracking my screen time, doing all that stuff. And some way or another, those apps either crept their way back into my smartphone, or I started using my browser to go visit the sites that I used to use apps for, which is kind of silly, but it just shows the addiction that I had.
Well, we've all been there.
I decided that making the switch to a dumb phone would be the easiest way to eliminate having the ability to do that with my phone whenever I wanted. This phone really is marketed and advertised as a minimal phone to get away from social media and doom scrolling. They like to say this is a phone for humans. All the available tools that it currently offers are an alarm, a calculator, a simple music player, directions for navigation, notes and voice memo, a calendar, and a podcast tool. The phone also supports hotspot tethering. And it's one of those things where being featureless or minimal is one of the features of it. It is capable of sending and receiving texts and phone calls. It has its own operating system called Light OS, and all the tools that are built for it are built specifically for this phone. You don't have to worry about your data being shared with any third-party applications, so it offers a very private user experience.
Privacy.
And they also say that they'll continue to release new software as needed. Currently, I believe they're trying to work on a Spotify integration, but their website does state that that's dependent on Spotify actually working with them. So we don't really know if it's going to happen or not. So let's get into some of the specs about the Lightphone 2. The screen uses e-ink or electronic paper technology, which is commonly seen in Kindles and e-readers. They do call out that the e-ink screen can have some bits of ghosting and flashing, which is common for this technology. The dimensions are 3.7 inches by 2.2 inches by 0.34 inches thick. Here's the Lightphone compared to my Pixel 6. This is a regular size Pixel 6, but you can tell that it's pretty small in comparison. It weighs only 78 grams, which is 2.75 ounces. It's super light. Get it? It claims to have a battery life of up to 1 to 2 days with regular usage and 7 days of standby. Different connectivity that it has GPS, it has Bluetooth, and it has Wi-Fi. It has 1 gig of RAM, 8 gigs of ROM, and the charging port, unfortunately, is micro USB.
No!
I have to say that is one of the biggest pain points for me. I am at the point where everything I use is USB-C, but I get it. It's not the most current tech. I'm not going to be transferring pictures or a lot of stuff off of this phone. I'm just going to be making phone calls and text messaging. It also has a headphone jack, and it is waterproof. Actually, I made a mistake. It's splash resistant, not waterproof. I'm not going to stick this thing on the water. And it is available in black and gray. They have 2 models for this phone, a North America model and an international model. Unfortunately, this phone does not support images in messages, but it does offer a feature to forward the images in a message to an email. And it also says that it has an auto forward URL option, which I haven't looked too much into yet. Also, the Lightphone 2 supports group messaging, but it's not an iPhone. You're probably gonna have some issues if you're trying to receive messages from iMessage, which is kind of a pain that I deal with my Android because my wife has an iPhone, so nothing new to me.
No biggie.
When you order this phone, they're going to send you a SIM card with it. You can choose to use the Lightphone service as your provider, but they also support other providers as well, such as AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, Ting. I will say that I was very happy with their customer service because I ordered 2 phones originally, trying to get my wife in on the whole going minimal and Lightphone, dumb phone thing, and she wasn't having it. So I ended up contacting customer support and told them that I needed to cancel one of the phones, and they were super nice about it. They also didn't have the black silicone case that I wanted for my phone, so they sent me the gray case for free and told me that they will send me the black case as soon as they get it. Mind you, they don't know who I am, so they didn't know that I have a following and a channel to promote their stuff. That was just them showing good customer support, which I always appreciate. Okay, so I mentioned I'm not a big fan of the micro USB. And I mentioned that they had great customer support. One of the things that I don't particularly like is the protective cover that I bought with this phone. It's almost smudged and worn. I thought it was air bubbles at first, and I tried smoothing it out. I don't know if I can show it in the camera here. Gosh, I don't know if you can see how hazy that looks and how smudged that looks. Like, mind you, I did rub it down a bit because I was trying to see if those smudges were air bubbles, but the tactile feedback and the button press on the phone itself is really rough. So I'm going to remove it and see if it gets any better. They do make you create an account when you first start using it, which is okay. I guess that's pretty common now. You kind of need an account for everything, but even though they market themselves as user-centric and offering a private user experience with their own operating system, they're still trying to harvest some of your data.
Give your data.
I don't know. At this point, everybody's got my data, so I don't think it's a big deal, but I did find it a little ironic.
Irony, sir.
I will say that it was a little annoying too that the phone came uncharged and I had to charge it for a while before I could actually use it, which is something that's a pet peeve of mine. I hate getting new electronics and having to charge them. I really like being able to take stuff out of the box and play with it right away. But after charging it for an hour, it seems to have almost full battery, which is nice. So right now I'm just walking through some of the steps of setting up the account. I know I kind of got fat fingers. It does feel rough with the responsiveness of where my fingers are touching. So I thought it was a screen protector, but I'm realizing now that I don't think that's the case. It does seem like it's not recognizing where my finger is touching sometimes. You also have to kind of turn it sideways to type. It doesn't allow you to type with the screen vertically. It is super weird that it's not recognizing my left thumb at the bottom there, but I'm almost done typing my email now. And now I have to create a password too, but it is what it is.
The fingers you have used to dial are too fat.
This is literally me using it for the first time on this video because I did want this to be a real first impression / unboxing / review video. I don't want to get too much into the weeds of setting this thing up. I just wanted to kind of get a feel for how the phone felt in my hands and what it felt like out of the box. I did get a chance to type on the keyboard for a little bit, which I have to say I wasn't very impressed. I'm trying to remind myself that this isn't a smartphone. This isn't the new iPhone. It really is a light phone that is very minimalist. But for the most part, I think it's good. It's gonna take me a little while to get it set up and get my tools all set up for it. I'm not sure how any of that works. I'll do later and follow back up and let you know how that goes. After the initial recording of the video yesterday, I decided to play around with the phone a little bit more and try to set up the tools. I figured out why you need to set up an account with the light phone company. It's so that you can add additional tools and things like that. I decided that I have to completely remove the screen protector from it. Those were in fact air bubbles from what I can tell because I took it off and put it back on, and those scuff marks that were appearing just showed in different spots. No matter how much I pushed or rubbed or tried to push it out with a credit card, they just didn't go away, and I couldn't live with that. So I decided to do away with it. Considering that I'm probably not going to be taking it out of my pocket as much and using it as much as I do my smartphone, I doubt I'm going to have a problem with it. Other than that, the only other thing that I can think of that was kind of bugging me was the keyboard. I don't know if it's because I'm a bigger guy and the phone is so small. I don't know if it has to do with the screen being the e-ink screen, but it is just really clunky. If I have to get into some serious text conversations with my wife or anyone else who might text me, I probably just end up calling them, which is kind of annoying because I prefer not to have to call people unless I actually really need to talk to them. So I can already tell that texting is going to be kind of a pain on this phone. Hopefully, the more I use it, the more I'll get comfortable with that keyboard. I would still rather prefer to deal with a clunky full keyboard than have to deal with a T9 keyboard by using the numbers to text. But apart from that, I think that all in all, this phone, for what it's meant to do, will get the job done. I am waiting for my SIM card to come in as well, so I'll test the reception on this phone to see how that works out. And if you do want to see that, make sure you leave a comment and let me know, because I want to make sure that I make a video that people want to watch. If there's anything that you want me to cover specifically in the future video, or things that you think I should try to do with this phone while I use it for the next week or two, please let me know. I ended up installing every single tool that they have and plan to use them and plan to talk about them in the next video. All right, with all that said, if this video was helpful, make sure you hit that like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.